welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. You see it all the time, couples striving for that perfect 50-50 split in their relationships. They think it's the magic formula for a happy, balanced partnership. And hey, I get it, equality is important. But let's get real, folks, life's a little more complicated than that, especially when it comes to money. Money's got a sneaky way of worming its way into everything, and it can stir up trouble in paradise faster than you can say joint account. Suddenly, that 50-50 ideal can start to feel a little off. Resentment builds, arguments flare up, and before you know it, you're at each other's throats over who paid the last electricity bill. So today we're going to dive deep into this 50-50 dilemma. We're going to unpack why financial issues are a breeding ground for relationship tension, and more importantly, I'm going to give you the tools to navigate those choppy financial waters and come out stronger on the other side. Many couples aim for a 50-50 split in relationships, believing it creates an equal partnership. However, money often complicates this balance. Today we'll explore why financial issues can create tension in relationships and how to navigate them. Alright, let's break this down. When we talk about a 50-50 split, what are we really talking about? Is it just about splitting the bills down the middle, or is there more to it? Because I'm here to tell you, it's about a whole lot more than just who pays for what. See, a true 50-50 split is about feeling valued, respected, and like an equal partner in the relationship. It's about recognizing that both partners bring something unique and important to the table, even if those contributions look different. Maybe one of you brings in the big bucks while the other handles the day-to-day stuff, like keeping the house running smoothly or taking care of the kids. Maybe one of you's a financial whiz who manages the investments, while the other's a creative soul who brings in a little extra cash on the side. The point is, it's not about keeping score or making sure everything's perfectly equal on paper. It's about recognizing and appreciating each other's strengths, contributions, and efforts. It's about working together as a team, supporting each other's dreams, and building a life you're both proud of. And let me tell you something, that kind of partnership, that's worth more than its weight in gold. Because when you feel valued and respected by your partner, when you know you're both pulling in the same direction, that's when you can truly thrive, both individually and as a couple. So before you get hung up on who makes more or who does more chores, take a step back and ask yourselves, do we feel valued in this relationship? Do we feel like we're both contributing in our own way? Because that's what a real 50-50 split is all about. Now, let's talk about a big one: income disparities. This is often a major source of tension in relationships, and for good reason. When there's a significant gap in earnings between partners, it can create a power imbalance that's hard to ignore. Think about it. The partner who makes more money might feel like they have more say in financial decisions, even if they don't intend to. They might unconsciously start dictating terms or making assumptions about spending habits. And the partner who earns less? They might feel like their voice isn't heard, like they're constantly walking on eggshells, afraid to rock the boat. This can lead to resentment, frustration, and a whole lot of unspoken tension. The lower-earning partner might start to feel like they're not contributing enough, even if they're pulling their weight in other areas of the relationship. They might even start to question their own self-worth. And let's be real, folks, that kind of dynamic is toxic. It breeds insecurity, breeds resentment, and it can eat away at the foundation of your relationship. That's why it's crucial to address income disparities head-on. Don't shy away from the conversation. Talk openly and honestly about your feelings, your concerns, and your expectations. Let's face it, folks, we all have different relationships with money. Some of us are natural savers, always looking for a bargain and squirreling away every penny we can. Others are more free-spirited with their spending, valuing experiences and indulging in the finer things in life. And when you pair a penny pincher with a big spender, well, let's just say sparks can fly. The saver might constantly scrutinize the spender's purchases, making them feel judged and controlled. The spender, on the other hand, might feel suffocated by the saver's frugality, like they're constantly being held back from enjoying life. It's like speaking two different languages. One person sees a weekend getaway as a much-needed escape, while the other sees it as a reckless drain on their savings. One person sees a fancy dinner as a celebration, while the other sees it as an unnecessary expense. But here's the thing, neither perspective is inherently wrong, it's just different. And the key to navigating these differences is, you guessed it, communication and a healthy dose of compromise. Beyond the paycheck, valuing unpaid contributions. Now, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in these 50-50 discussions: unpaid labor. Because here's the deal, folks. A relationship is about more than just bringing home a paycheck. It's about sharing the load, supporting each other, and making sure both partners feel valued and appreciated. And that includes recognizing the value of unpaid work, like taking care of the house, raising the kids, or managing the household finances. These tasks might not come with a paycheck, but they're essential to a functioning household, and they require time, effort, and a whole lot of emotional labor. But here's where things get tricky. Traditional gender roles often dictate who takes on these unpaid responsibilities. Women are often expected to be the primary caregivers and homemakers, even if they're also working full-time jobs. And let me tell you, that kind of imbalance can breed resentment faster than you can say unpaid overtime. So, how do you make sure these unpaid contributions are valued and acknowledged? It starts with recognizing that they're just as important as any paid work. Next, the silent killer: lack of financial communication. You know that saying, communication is key? Well, it's not just a catchy phrase, folks, it's the foundation of any healthy relationship. And when it comes to finances, clear, open, and honest communication is non-negotiable. See, money is often loaded with emotions. It can trigger feelings of shame, guilt, anxiety, and even fear. And when those feelings go unaddressed, they can fester and grow, creating a breeding ground for resentment and mistrust. Think about it. If you're constantly hiding purchases from your partner, or if you're terrified to have a conversation about debt, that's a sign that something's not right. It creates an environment of secrecy and suspicion, and that's not a recipe for a happy, healthy relationship. Building a future together: the power of shared goals. You know, one of the most rewarding things about being in a relationship is having someone to share your life with, someone to dream with, someone to build a future with. And a big part of building that future together is being on the same page financially. See, when you and your partner are working towards the same goals, it creates a sense of shared purpose, a sense of teamwork, and a sense of excitement for what the future holds. It's like you're both rowing the boat in the same direction, instead of paddling against each other. But when your financial goals are misaligned, well, that's a recipe for disaster. It's like one person's rowing towards the Bahamas while the other's trying to get to Alaska. You might both be putting in the effort, but you're never going to reach your destination. Thinking about ditching the rulebook, finding what works for you. Now, I know we've been talking a lot about the 50-50 split, but here's the thing. There's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to relationships and finances. What works for one couple might not work for another, and that's perfectly okay. The key is to find a system that feels fair, equitable, and sustainable for both partners. And that might mean ditching the 50-50 rulebook altogether, and coming up with something completely unique to your situation. Maybe you decide to pool all of your income and expenses, and then each of you gets a certain amount of fun money to spend however you like. Maybe you decide to split expenses proportionally based on your incomes. Maybe you decide to alternate who pays for what each month. Know that the little things matter, appreciating each other's efforts. You know, sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference in a relationship. A simple thank you, a heartfelt compliment, a small gesture of appreciation. These things might seem insignificant on their own, but they can go a long way in building a strong, loving, and lasting partnership. And when it comes to finances, these small acts of appreciation are even more important. Because let's face it, managing money can be stressful, it can be tedious, and it can sometimes feel like a thankless job. So take the time to acknowledge and appreciate your partner's efforts, both big and small. Thank them for picking up the groceries, for paying the bills on time, for contributing to your shared savings goals. Let them know that you see their hard work, that you value their contributions, and that you appreciate everything they do to keep your financial ship afloat. Outrow navigating love and money, you've got this. So there you have it, folks. The 50-50 split might sound good in theory, but in reality, it's a little more nuanced than that. It's about open communication, shared values, mutual respect, and a whole lot of flexibility. Remember, financial compatibility isn't about keeping score or making sure everything's perfectly equal on paper. It's about working together as a team, supporting each other's dreams, and building a life you're both proud of. And most importantly, it's about remembering that you're in this together. You're partners, you're teammates, and you're each other's biggest cheerleaders. So keep talking, keep listening, keep compromising, and I promise you, you can navigate any financial challenge that comes your way. In conclusion, while aiming for a 50-50 split in relationships is a noble goal, it's vital to understand the complexities that finances bring. Open communication, shared goals, and mutual respect can help navigate the tricky waters of money and maintain harmony. Remember, financial compatibility is about understanding, kindness, and teamwork. By working together, you can build a relationship that stands the test of time, despite any monetary challenges. Build a strong foundation. Like, share, and subscribe for more insights into building healthy, loving relationships. Let's navigate life and love together. We're here for you on this journey.